Good afternoon. I am Josh Bennett from the 415 Lab, Adaptive Physical Education. This is my video presentation. So let me set the scene for you. It's the first day. I'm nervous. I have never worked one-on-one with a student before in any sort of capacity like this, and I know that I have a student who is maybe on the side of the low functioning, so I'm a little bit nervous. And then I meet Laura, and she is fun. She can be hard to understand, but her visual cues are a little easier to pick up. And I noticed from the get-go that she's wearing headphones and listening to music. And my number one goal for her as a mentor was to find other ways to motivate her intrinsically instead of using the music as a reward, because I know that she likes it, but I know that it's also important for her to be able to do things without the music. So while I was researching, I looked up a couple articles about intrinsic motivation for any student with special needs, and I had a couple sources. And I was looking at Anne Lincoln, and she suggests that children who encounter learning disabilities may be reinforced less for independent mastery attempts. And this is an issue because it kind of implies that teachers might give up on the student a little bit. Wendy S. Gralnich says that current literature suggests that children with learning disabilities are different from those who don't have learning disabilities in terms of self-concept and motivation, which seems pretty it seems like common sense when you look at it, but it also implies that we're not finding ways to motivate the students efficiently. And then Dudley Weiss infers that intrinsic motivation helps all students be competent or effective and develops as the person explores his or her environment, even seeking out challenges, and continually learns to adapt. And that's important for all students because as a student myself, you have to learn to adapt to a situation. And if we can teach any student to adapt, no matter what kind of capacity they have, it helps them succeed in the future. So going forward from the first day with Laura, I was trying to find different ways to motivate her throughout the semester, but I knew it was difficult because she was relying on the music to do activities. So as we go on, we'll learn more. Okay, so we fast forward to the second time I meet with Laura, and after the first time, I was a little bit encouraged, but I really wish I had a better way of communicating with Laura, and that's when Ann Hughes came into play, and she worked with me the entire class and helped me utilize some things with Laura that I didn't know I could, and I got to witness how Laura reacts whenever she's comfortable with someone or she's worked with them before, because she's worked with Ann Hughes for many years, and their interactions were they were very encouraging in the fact that like I see how I could communicate with Laura better, even if I'm a male. So we worked throughout the day. Laura didn't use her music once all day, and I think that's partially because Anne knows how to work with her very well and knows how to motivate her. And we use the track as motivation because Laura loves, number one, to be in silent areas. Number two, she likes going outside on nicer days. So we had her do a couple exercises in the gym, and she did extremely well on those. And then we walked her out to the track, and our goal was to have her walk a mile in under 16 minutes. But seeing as we were limited on time, we chose to just do one lap and time that. And she didn't stop walking the entire time. We let her have her music out there because it helped her move faster, and she was able to walk the first lap in 4 minutes and 30 seconds. We realized that that's more of a 18-minute mile pace, but it's a lot closer to 16 than we were expecting. So we were really encouraged on that day, and we set a goal for the rest of the semester to get her under her mile under 16 minutes. So we walked back to the gym, and I was able to sit down with Miss Hughes for a little while and pick her brain on ideas that would help me be more successful as Laura's mentor. And I came up with more of a plan going from there on how to go forward with that, and I was very excited. And the next part is cool. My classmates is going to be joining me as a mentor, and I was excited because I think it'll work better with Laura bouncing off of each other, and I was also excited because it was a female, and Laura tends to do better with females because she's more comfortable. And So on this day, we were able to see Laura very, very happy, and it was something that we had not experienced yet. Some days she would come in and she wouldn't be focused. You'd have a hard time talking to her, and she maybe not react to what you were saying. But on this day, she was full of joy. She kept talking about Halloween and what she wanted to be for Halloween, and she must have said, good job, Laura," about 50 times because she was really excited about the progress she was making. But we also believe that she could have been making fun of us in a way of a playful fun. So it was really cool to see Laura on that day. The best thing about that day is Laura did not require any sort of extrinsic motivation. She was able to work without headphones. She was able to complete the task better than she had been before. She focused. She was paying attention. She was able to not only identify what was on the bean bags and place them in the right container of healthy foods, fruits, veggies, but she did about 25 of those in about 10 minutes, which is really impressive. Not only because whenever you seem to sit Laura down, she gets pretty stagnant, but she was able to roll around without stopping. This was beneficial to me and Emily because I think that there were times that we had gotten a little discouraged in our teaching, in our methods, and to see how it's like to work with Laura when she was in a good mood was very beneficial, and it helped us adapt and learn the plan of what we're going to do going forward. So from this lesson, we created a lesson plan that was much more holistic, and it had at least, I think, 15 to 20 activities on it that we were going to try to attempt with her on a given day. What we found is the next time she came in, it was the exact opposite of that day. So more on that. Okay, so as I was saying earlier, we made a lesson plan for the next week we saw Laura. I'm going to show you some of that real quick. So we're going to work on hurdles, jump rope, noodles, which were her favorite thing, a little soccer, a little catch, a little basketball, a little seated scooter, which is very beneficial for her cognitive side of her. Then we had another same thing, the seated scooter toss, the step ladder, the wall squats, and the wall push-ups. We knew some of these were a little ambitious, but we were really encouraged by how it was the week before that, so we were going to go for it. But we were very caught off guard what happened next. We get there, we see the students come in, and Laura is nowhere to be found. So we ask the teachers where she's at, and they said, oh, she's laying down outside. So me and Emily, we head outside to check on Laura, and she is laying on the hard ground, the hard floor of the hall, and she has her headphones on. Oh, no, she doesn't have her headphones on yet, but she is not. She's sleeping, basically. Come to find out, whenever she lays down, she has bad gas and tends to shut down physically because she doesn't feel good. But we also found out that her favorite Elmo book had broken, and she was fixated on that, and she couldn't get past that. So for the first 30 minutes of class, me and Emily tried everything we could to get her off the floor. We motivated her with extrinsically, intrinsically. We put her iPhone within her reach, but she had to get up to get it. She did not bite. It wasn't until Miss Hughes came back and told her that her dad was fixing her book as she spoke, that she got up. And this was eye-opening because we've had bad days with Laura, we've had good days with Laura, but we've never had to deal with a situation where she was basically comatose for a little while. She was asleep, she wasn't responsive, she wasn't in a good mood, she hadn't had a good day, and then we learned to adapt. So once we finally got her up, we had a discussion of, should we go with lesson plan or should we change it? And we decided that we were going to just have her walk around the gym because it was important to us that she was just physically active for the hour left. And it worked. She walked around. She talked about the book some, but she enjoyed herself the best that she could. So that was our crazy experience from the year. But all in all, it was a fantastic year. I learned a lot from Emily. I learned a lot from Laura, and I definitely learned a lot from watching my peers work with their mentees and how I might teach my PE class going forward.